Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, hey, hey.
Well, it's just the three of us here so far. We're starting a little bit early, and that doesn't work with some people's schedules.
Yeah.
I think Eric and Rhiannon will be showing up in a bit. Eric said that he would squeak in right at 6 p.m., which is just in time for the game.
Living dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's because of that memo about only the cool people at 5:30. Was that it?
Exactly. I mean, that's why the three of us here are here, plus Erin's. I mean, it looks like she's setting up an interrogation room over in her space. Like there's like a bright light shining.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a fashionista.
oh, who's a fashionista? What's happening?
I tried to turn on Dungeon Scrawlers and a commercial came on.
Oh, I see. I see.
And I can't mute it because the reasons.
Oh man, these Twitch commercials. Some of them are really
trying.
funny, but some of them, it's a little bit of a miss for me. I'll be honest.
I'm so sorry. I'm just
Yeah.
So how are the
Yeah.
viewers doing this week? Anybody playing a game of D&D? Let me shuffle this around.
You know, like I was just thinking, like, the thing about having like 2 weeks between a game is like you would think that would give you more time to prepare, but in fact, it's just like come in and then I'm like, who am I? What's my character? What were we doing?
Yep, totally. I was just talking to
And-
Steven about that. I'm like, what the heck were my plans? I had ideas and now I don't.
So like in chat, what is like the longest like running D&D campaign you played in where like it was consistent and you actually like played with played the same campaign or same character, generally same group of people?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I think it's this one for me.
I have to restart. I don't know if anybody can hear me.
We can hear you. Aaron, if you're in trouble, blink twice. Oh, goodbye.
What did she say, by the way? Before she said, I don't know if anyone can hear me.
She has to restart.
Oh, because that's like one of those SOSs. I don't know if anyone can hear me. You know, one of those apocalyptic. I don't know if anyone's out there, but
She wasn't in her questioning room. She was in someone else.
she tricked them into starting the DS stream.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she could communicate out.
Get a call for help out.
Quick, let's analyze the background noises so we can identify where she's located.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that that movie? I think it was FX with Robert Redford and they were a special effects company and he gets kidnapped for some reason and there's a blind person in the group and he's in the trunk of a car and they're driving, to some safe house somewhere, not safe house, and he calls and he describes what he's hearing through the trunk of the car to the blind person. And the blind person's like, oh yeah, okay, wait, no, that's Interstate 5. Okay, yeah, all right, he's up by the, and then, and he's describing what he's hearing. Okay, I hear a cocktail party and they're driving past a flock of seagulls. There's like sound, babbling seagulls. You remember this?
No, I don't. But
it's a really good movie.
But this reminds me, like your story reminds me of like a real life example where I believe it was like Shia LaBeouf or something was doing like an art installation in New York, and people from the internet, maybe 4chan, like figured out where it was, went to it and started messing with it. So in response, he like yanked the whole installation and was like, screw you, and put it in the middle of nowhere, like in middle America. And I believe the internet combined their powers, looked at the live camera feed of it, looked at the stars, roughly triangulated where it was, and one of the users drove around for hours blowing an air horn, and the internet would tell him if he was getting closer and closer because, they would hear it over the live stream. And so they located it in the end. And
what was it?
It was like some Shia LaBeouf like art installation.
That's amazing.
But never underestimate the dedication of like internet trolls.
Wow, that's just a great puzzle.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like a lot of our viewers are playing in a bunch of campaigns. I mean, D&D is a great way to spend some of your shelter at home time.
Yeah, for sure. So
I mean,
Oh,
if
it looks like Sonderjack is DMing. Is this your first time DMing? Well, he can't really respond to me immediately, so.
So my son and a couple of his friends approached me and said they wanted to learn. So we're doing a kind of campaign, and
that's awesome.
To my delight and surprise, they want to play again next weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
You didn't scare them away.
I mean, I figured, come on, they're gonna all the dad jokes. How can they possibly deal with that? But seems like it's all right.
Oh yeah. I can see your campaign being full of dad jokes for sure.
What classes are they playing, and what did he run them through?
He's my son's playing a fiend warlock.
Oh, cat.
There's a dragonborn paladin. There's a wood elf monk, and a dwarf fighter. No, barbarian.
Wood elf monk, when they like break their wrist when they punch them. I'm just kidding.
It's all kind of Tai Chi. Just redirecting the other person's energy.
Yeah.
Are we on right now? Out of curiosity.
We are. Yes, we are.
Good to
Makes
know.
Hello, Aaron.
My mic is working now. My legs
Great.
seem to be all weird, but that's fine. I'll fix that in a
My
minute.
mic works nice.
We thought that you were running some sort of like interrogation chamber, like when you were away from the computer and you just had like the light shining without you in it. It looked a little grim.
So Umbra 000 says they have an 8 and 13-year-old they want to DM for, but can't hook them yet. Any tips? So, well, here's how I did it. And you might ask Erin too, because she got her kids in a campaign. But when we were all trapped up at Grandma's house for a weekend and it was raining, I brought the D&D stuff up, and I just sort of intrigued them because they were bored, and because Grandma wouldn't let them wear their phones or use their phones. So we played once, and it was pretty fun. A couple of them really were into it. And I think we did that twice over the course of maybe 2 years. And then it just kind of went away because they were full of hormones and everything. But now they're old enough that I don't know, they just kind of came to it. I mean, they're really into anime and all the different, Naruto and the various Gon and his powers, the rock, paper, scissors. And so they would play these sort of theater of the mind games, where they would just in their regular play have these powers and stuff. And then finally they just kind of came to me. My son just came to me. I think also I talk about it a lot with him, just kind of tell him, I lost my hand last week. My character.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. And
wow, is that like your dinner table talk?
Yeah.
That's so great.
No, not quite.
Every morning, every time I go in on the break and kiss my kids goodnight, and my older son is like, "What's going on in your game?" Like, he loves those stories. That is what got him interested, I think, is that I would go once a week to go play D&D at my friend's house, and he would want to know what I was doing without him.
Oh.
I think the biggest thing the biggest hook that isn't like, I mean, it depends. Like, if your kids don't like fantasy, then you need to find a different setting and stuff. But if your kids already are kind of interested in this idea, the biggest hook, I think, is you say yes, right? Yes. They want to do something, you say yes, because that is a thing kids don't get a lot of, right? It's a lot of no, it's a lot of later, it's a lot of when you're older kind of stuff.
Oh my God.
So telling a kid, like, what do you want to do? Okay, you do that. And this is what happens. Like, it's really empowering for them. I run a campaign for a bunch of 9-year-olds, which is really exhausting sometimes. And I do have to do a lot of make an insight check, because the ranger's first answer is, what if we murdered everybody? Which is odd.
I mean,
but
that's the same
he's
for
not
some
that kid in
40-year-old
every
players.
day, right?
Yeah.
And mostly, I mean, besides the fact that like I don't want to encourage that as a problem solving strategy, the rest of the players get really mad when he does that. So I'll be like, okay, Link, that's another thing. Like your kids want to make characters that you think are like crazy or boring or whatever, let them do it. The Elven Ranger is basically Link from Zelda, and that's fine, right? Like that was the way I got my son's friends into D&D. Was for his birthday, I made up a dungeon that was based on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I made characters for each of them that were based on characters. Like it was, you know, they're all boys, so all the boy champions, and then I flipped Urbosa and Mifa from Twilight Princess, and they love those characters. Like the wizard is still Urboso, even though it's a totally different character because that's his character's name. And then they start getting attached to them, and then they want to do more things, and it's a lot of yes. So I don't know. That's my advice. Say yes. Try to curtail their murderous impulses.
I don't know
I
about
like it.
Aaron, but I grew up even as a kid. This is the weirdest thing. I wasn't an adult yet. I was a kid, but the song that I think it's James Taylor, "The Cat's in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon,"
Ooh.
that whole song about missing your child's childhood because you were too busy. Oh my! I grew up in fear of that, and I made when I saw myself say no a couple times because it was like, oh, I really don't want to play Legos right now. That sounds so boring. I just said no. From now on, the answer is yes. No matter what they say, Dad, do you wanna? The answer is yes, because damn it, it's not gonna be long before they're gone. And so yeah, I mean, I feel you on that. Say yes.
Yeah, and I think that like role playing games are a great place to do it because there's a lot of things you have to say no to, right? Like,
Yeah.
no, you can't play video games all day. You have to finish your schoolwork. No, you can't have cookies for breakfast because then you'll fill up and you will never eat a vegetable. And like, you kind of have to do that stuff sometimes. At least you have to learn that you have to do that stuff. So when you're an adult and you want to make dumb choices, you at least understand they're dumb choices. That's my philosophy. But in D&D, like if you want to go plunging down into an unexplored dungeon, you can't. I'm not going to say yes to that. In like, if you see a hole in the ground, I'm not going to say, yeah, let's go in there because I'm just who I am. But you know what? Like, yeah, let's do that. Let's try jumping on the back of the Ankeg. Let's plunge into the swamp and talk to the strange, weedy water woman who seems dangerous. Why not?
Yeah, I feel like that's still the same way I play. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm like, can I just do this really weird, crazy thing, please?
I don't think it's a problem at all. I just think like emphasizing that for a kid, right? Like that's a big, cool thing.
Yeah. I still remember when I was young, I think my gateway drug into tabletop RPGs was Hero Quest. But I think like specifically what got me was the Balrog mini. Like you saw that mini and as a kid, you just wanted to fight it. Like I didn't care what the game was. I didn't care about the rules. Like I just wanted to get some friends and we had to like fight this demon lord with the whip and the sword.
Yeah,
And-
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's sort of thing too. Like I gave those kids dice sets and
Yeah, the
don't
boxed,
underestimate sparkly dice.
you know, just like the boxed sort of board game versions, you know, that they have like this. They have one for Strahd and they have one for like Baldur's Gate, and they have a couple that come with a bunch of like little plastic minifigs and like things to fight and tile dungeons and stuff like that. It's a good way to get them into it too, I think.
Yeah, and I kind of remember like reading the book about what the Balrog was, and then just learning about like that lore also really hooked me.
Yeah, letting my kid read the monster manual.
Oh,
That was also, I think
Oh, nice.
Susan,
Yeah,
friend
that
of the
was-
show, who was our guest DM, has told me that was like her gateway. She just read the monster manual and thought it was really cool. Before she ever realized it was a game, she was just like, this is so interesting.
Yeah, I think there's like at least enough Forgotten Realms lore to fill like at least 1 or 2 weeks of like digging and research and learning. And
Just
stuff,
be
so.
careful what you get your kids into.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I need to
Maybe
step
3
inside
weeks.
real quick.
Yeah, I saw that there was a new D&D book that they just announced this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's centered around Candlekeep, and it seems to be 17 one-shots that all begin with finding a mysterious book. Ooh.
Oh,
So the
Caliph.
Caliph book, yep.
Yeah.
the Caliph module here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, also friggin' Stong.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's a pretty good adventure hook, I think, leads to lots of interesting places. But it's 17 different authors. It seems to be a lot of various celebrity players and contributors from DM Guild. And I took a look at the table of contents, and there's some pretty cool talents in there.
Jennifer Crutcham did one with accessibility, like Candlekeep
Yeah.
with ramps, and or no, not Candlekeep, but yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I believe also like Amy Vorpal did one, and then Deborah Ann Wool. There should be it's like one shots that are meant to be played like between longer adventures. So I think that would be, I mean, it'd be kind of fun to even pick that up and like try it for ourselves.
Yeah,
We do
because
have to
books
figure out
haven't
what
never got
we-
us in trouble. Yeah.
True. Yeah. I mean, we do need to figure out something to do between season 1 and season 2, which could start as soon as next week, right? So
Yep.
Well, I'm going
And
to
also,
beverage.
oh,
Yeah.
Marisha Ray did also contribute. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
who's that? Anyway, just kidding. Yeah, and then I saw that the MCDM collective there put out Arcadia, so they've started publishing a D&D magazine, basically. So for those who yearn for the days of Dungeon Magazine and all that kind of fun stuff,
The archive.
they're not official WotC, but they're under the open game license, they're publishing some stuff. So what was that, Steve?
You can, every single dragon that's out there is online in an archive.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's really fun to read them.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, if you want to use any of the stuff, you've got to convert it to 5e.
Are you saying that you can't see them because I have the cover, but this bookshelf, there's a whole shelf full of stacked dragon back issues.
Oh,
What,
no.
really? What? Like right there?
That's like
Yeah,
Dungeon.
right there. I could, here, I'll prove it.
Yes.
You don't have them in a
Please. Well, not prove it. I just want to see some cool covers. Yeah, like one of the issues that we passed along to each other featured a big section on Westgate that I believe Eric had a big hand in. And it told us a lot of really cool back history that we haven't really explored yet, but it's still there, involving the Golden Swords, and the Night Mass, and the Night King.
Yeah, we haven't really dug too much into the Shao side of Westgate, so I think that would be
No.
interesting.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things that I picked up from that was just the architecture and like the difference between the east and west sides of the city.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to explore more of that in the future, unless the city's gone.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, if the west side is burned down, maybe the east side will just expand it at all.
Whoa. One of our so Robert in chat was saying that he's part of Adventure Quarterly. I need to check out Adventure Quarterly. It's on my to-do list.
Sounds like a superhero team.
Yeah. Got some favorite covers to show us, Rhiannon?
Well, I'd have to go through them. I think there's some over on the other side of the room as well. So.
Oh man, your room's just like full of Dragon magazine everywhere, huh?
Well, it's because I was reading the most in college, and so then like I shoved a lot of stuff in my childhood bedroom, and then like moved out immediately. So there was no sort of like post college living at home, like have to actually like go through any of my stuff. I was just like came home from college, dropped my stuff, and then moved out. So there was not the pressure to cull.
Yeah,
a little bit more
okay.
now, but
And now you're just like sleeping using a pillow of Dragon magazines, and you have a nightstand that's made of Dragon magazines that you put your glass of water on.
I got all kinds of stuff in here, man. I just keep finding more when I'm looking for, actual stuff that I need.
Do you have any favorite issue memories? Like, you remember one that you read?
So, Dragon had an article about the dragon marks of Eberron that were like different houses had different magical abilities that showed up with these like tattoo type marks.
Ooh.
And they had these like window clings
Mhm.
that came in the magazine. And there's literally still 2 in my car that were the awesomest 2 looking ones. It's not the same car. I got a new car. I transferred the window clings. But I am that. And the thing is that they are super subtle because like I have sort of various other sort of window designs, like a Celtic raven thing and stuff. But just over in their corner, it's a little guy, little sort of interesting design.
What is a Celtic raven? Is it a
Well-
raven with like, I don't know, like blue eye makeup and some like war paint, like brandishing some hand axes?
Well, so I put on a different necklace because it goes with the die you got me.
Oh, cool.
Whenever I show that off, but it's a try something that I'm forgetting and I can't Google because I'm talking to you. Anyway, with 3 animals that are sort of in knotwork connected to each other in a circle. Which is a common design. I don't know if it's historical Celtic, but a lot of sort of modern Celtic art uses it. And so the one in my car is like 3 ravens sort of like connected. I'll go see what the
that's cool.
actual name of that.
Man.
And then I'll show off the die because the die is so cool.
Well, you've got 3 minutes to do it.
Oh, three minutes?
3
No.
minutes before we go to the recap, and then we'll be starting
okay.
the episode in 7 minutes.
I
But
was
you can
like-
show
I
the
was
die
a-
off in the beginning of the episode.
3 minutes isn't enough for me to like go pee, so I need to leave that much time. I'm not Steven.
Oh, my.
So-
Oh, you just threw Steven out there, huh? Just letting people know. Okay.
So this is my die of everybody got dice, and this is my D20. And bring it up to the camera as much as I can. It's got a little wolf, and then it's got lightning in it.
Nice.
Sneezing. And then it came with a as Aaron said, a mana potion.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing the little mana potion.
Oh, if only you could pop that and drink it when you need it, right? Yeah, our friend Teacup made us some custom dice. We talked about them a little bit a couple of weeks ago, but we got some better pictures of them that maybe we'll share either on the Discord or social media later. Get a better view of them. Wolf and lightning, yep.
Wolf and lightning. Well, it's true.
Maybe one day you'll get to combine those powers like in game.
Well, so I don't think the wolf can spellcast because there's like I don't think it could use its paws to do the motions, and it definitely couldn't say whatever verbal component.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. But high level druids can cast while in beast form, so there's
she
precedent.
She needs to talk to Ruan, is what you're saying.
And you need to get Eric's buy-in on something like this, because yeah.
Well, I already got the ring. I don't feel
Step
like I need to
one.
like push as far as like OP magic stuff.
I don't know if it'd be a OP per se, but it would certainly be unusual in this world.
Yeah.
I wonder. There's a high level spell, I believe, that also allows you to change your form, but I can't remember if you could cast spells while you use it. Is it like Alter Self or something like that? It's basically like the better polymorph. It's like level 9.
But then wouldn't you run into also like trouble with concentration versus concentration? If you were holding
Ooh.
a spell on yourself, because the thing about the wolf
Yeah.
is that it's not like it won't interfere with the spell for being a concentration. At least you just
True.
need to learn how to say English or common with canine mouth.
True. Yeah. I do feel like concentration right now is a big bottleneck for min-maxers, in this game. If you could concentrate on 2 spells at once, holy cow, the power surge that you could have.
Okay. BRB.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to the recap now. Oh, there's Eric. And we'll see y'all in 5 minutes.